Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to another live stream. Guys, oh my God, my hair is like all over the place. Anyways, let's go back to the live stream. I am super happy to be here with you guys today on Tuesday. This is a great show because this is like all over the news. It's been in the news for a while. We got to talk about it. We have to talk about it because if we don't, the world will never change. So we got to talk about this topic. But for those of you that are coming in new to the channel, my name is Jackie Gonzalez. I am a travel advisor for Expedia Cruises. Welcome in, guys. And if you guys have been here already, welcome back, everybody. This is Travel Adventures, and this is our live show here on Tuesdays. Guys, last week, I'm going to tell you this before anything. Across the Way, we couldn't do Across the Way. We were missing Keith. And also, we were having issues with the Wi-Fi. But tomorrow, we will be back in Across the Wave at 8 p.m. full force. So just letting you know that ahead of time. But guys, let's talk about this crazy situation that has been brewing for months, probably years now. And it's just getting worse. And as I'm speaking with you, I just got another message from the same situation we're going to talk about today. What is happening to the cruising industry lately with all these brawls going on, people? What is going on? Like, you guys pay so much money to go on these cruises to then end up in a brawl, whether inside of the ship or even on the port. It's just beyond. And we're going to talk about it today because it's just getting like a lot of attention lately, whether it's, and usually it used to be in Carnival cruises. Some of them are in Royal, some of them are in MSC. Guys, they're just everywhere now. So I don't know if you guys have encountered a fight. I have not encountered a fight or anything like that when I have been cruising, and I'm thankful for that. Other than maybe every so often you hear, a couple of arguments here and there, but nothing that comes into like a brawl itself. But this, guys, this is just getting out of hand, and we gotta, us as cruisers, we gotta talk about this because we need people to, come to their senses sometimes. And, you pay all this money to have a good time with your family. Why end up in a brawl? If somebody says something, you know what? Just continue to roll. Don't even put attention to it. Just roll, because at the end of the day, you're either going to get banned, fined, or end up in jail on your cruise vacation. So I don't know how you feel about all of that, but I just feel a certain way. Look at that now. And it's like the world is on fire and people are just going nuts on here. But welcome in everybody that's on the chat. Donnell, thank you so much for being here. And Jen and everybody that do not comment. Guys, I appreciate you because you know what? You are showing up. Just hit that like button and comment if you can. Put a little wave on there. I don't know what you guys want to put. If you guys want to chime in on this situation, if you're tired about it, just let us know, guys. Just let us know, because this is crazy. This is just beyond. And as a travel, as a travel advisor, that's my thing. I sell travel, and to just know that this is what people are doing, it's just sad. It's just sad at the same time. And I don't know what causes the situation. But this one at the port, I don't think it had anything to do with drinks. I think it was brewing inside of the cruise. And they probably thought that by going into the port and finishing it up there, it was going to be, I'm not going to get banned. So now you're banned. Now you went to jail. Who knows how much fines you're going to have. So it's just beyond, for sure. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, so hopefully you guys having a great time. Maybe you guys are watching me on your lovely big screen TV or on your cellular device. But wherever you're watching, I am super thankful that you're here. And if you're watching the replay later on, just hashtag replay. Let me know that you watched it later on and leave a comment, because Travel Adventures is here to stay. We actually just celebrated 3 years, guys. Yesterday was our 3rd-year anniversary. And I have promised you guys that I was going to celebrate it, but a lot of things have been going on. I just posted something on Facebook. I had a big situation with my main camera in Cozumel, and it It just stopped working. Let's just put it that way. And I was in the middle of filming a brand deal that I had with a vendor in Cozumel. But thankfully that all was not lost and we were able to recuperate a little bit. And my DJI camera Osmo Pocket 3, it's already in the DJI's hands, people over there, and they're going to try and fix it. And if they can, they're probably going to send me a different one. But this girl right here, she done bought the Pocket 4. Yes, we did. Travel Adventures has a brand new Pocket 4, and we are ready to roll. But that was one of the reasons why I couldn't get everything done, because I ended up having to buy a new Pocket 4, and I wanted to buy some stuff to give away on the channel. Does not mean that it's not going to happen. It is going to happen just a little later. I'm still working in my other side of the house because the Travel Adventures area is still not ready yet. I'm still waiting for the big name and all of that stuff to come in, and we're still trying to figure out some stuff, how we want to put everything together for you guys. But when that day comes, we're going to have a big celebration because we're going to be in the new side, and we're going to celebrate all the good celebration things that we got to do. I just wanted to let you guys know because I haven't forgotten. I don't think that, when I say that I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it for you guys. But yeah, yesterday we hit 3 years, 53,000 or 1 year in the Bahamian jail is what I read. It was crazy, Donnell. It is insane. Like, why would you do this? But I'm going to give you a little bit of information that we gather here. And it says getting into a fight on a cruise ship or even being involved in a severe altercation can instantly ruin not only your vacation and resulting in immediate debarkation, heavily fines, arrested, and a lifetime ban across major cruise lines. You know what? I was hearing Jay from the Ship Life today, and I truly believe, and I do agree with him, that they should just ban, if they're going to ban you, they should just have a straight across ban from all cruise lines. And not just, let's say, Carnival or MSC or Royal. They should just ban you completely from everywhere. You're not going to come back and step in foot on another cruise. That is what I think, because it's just crazy. If they fine you like $500 and you don't get banned, you're just going to pay the $500. You're going to come back and then you're going to mess up somebody else's or ruin somebody else's vacation. When in a physical fight breaks out, it immediately disrupts the entire ship operation, impacts everyone on board, consequences included. So think about it. Just because you're having an argument with Joe from this corner doesn't mean that if you get into a brawl inside of the cruise ship, that you're not going to impact other people that are paying to be on that cruise. Some people will look at it in the way of, oh, let me video it, let me put it up, let me go viral on this. And, that's their prerogative. But some people might just have the cruise ship either come back around or go to the next port to get these people out and maybe disrupt, the way that the cruise was leaving. So think about it. There's different situations that can happen in any form, depending on the situation. So you might be asking yourself, so how would this directly impact my vacation? So a ship diversion, which is what I was saying, is a fight was severe enough, such as requiring medical attention, or for those involved, the captain may be forced to divert the ship to the nearest port to turn around and return to the departure port and hand individuals over to the local authorities. It could ruin the timelines. This can cause massive delays, alter the planned itinerary, and cancel scheduled ports stops for all guests aboard. It can heighten security measures. Following the brawl, cruise lines can often implement stricter crowd control, enforce earlier curfews, restrict alcohol service, and deploy more security personnel, creating a more tense and heavily monitored atmosphere for the remaining of the trip. Guys, you really don't want all of this on your cruise. Then some of the consequences for those that are involved is immediate removal. So those involved are typically confined to their cabins if they're on, if they're like on a sea there or whatever, until the next port, or they are removed from the ship without a refund for the cruise. So some of them have financial penalties, like passengers may be hit with a steep onboard fine, substantial costs to cover the medical bills, travel home, and port fees. They might take legal action on you guys. Physical altercations often result in federal assault charges, involvement of law enforcement like FBI or US based ships, and aren't at an arrest at the port. Maybe you get a lifetime ban. Major cruise lines such as Carnival, Royal, and other sister brands, including MSC Cruise Lines and any of the cruise lines like Princess and all of them, will issue a lifetime ban preventing you from ever booking with them again. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to avoid unwanted conflict. Report, don't confront people. If you witness a bad behavior, line cutting, or involved in a dispute over a chair, notify guest services or security instead of engaging directly. Pace control consumption, because that's one of the situations, the alcohol consumption. Overindulging is the root cause of many cruise altercations. Choose your vibe. Upscale cruise lines like Celebrity or Princess tend to have fewer public altercations due to an older demographic and more relaxed atmosphere compared to shorter party-centric weekend cruisers. So when they talk about the party-centric, you're talking about, your Carnivals, your MSCs, believe it or not, and your Royals that are doing the 3 and the 4 days. So guys, choose your vibe. You want to roll with the good vibes. You don't want to roll with the bad vibes. You don't want to be caught in this altercation. It's going to end up messing your vacation. Not only you're messing your vacation, the people that you're going with as well, because that's going to affect it. It trickles down to everybody that's going in with you, because once you do something, they remove everybody from your cabin. It's not like if it's just going to be you, it's everybody in your party is gone, out, booted, and you're not coming back. So just keep in mind that when you're traveling like this with other people, just keep in mind you're going on a vacation, guys. You're not going to have an altercation or have a bad time. You're there for the good times, for the wobble. You're there for all of that good stuff, all the good food and all of the trivias and the bingos and the casino and all of that. The ship has so many great places to be. For you to be, worrying about what's going on and having some fight with somebody that really is going to end up in a situation for you down the road that you're going to, eventually, once you come back into your senses, you're going to be like, oh my God, like, why did I do this? Now I'm screwed because now I can come back on another cruise, which I love. Could you imagine being banned and this is what you love to do is cruising and you can't come back to it ever again? It's crazy. You don't want to be in that position, guys. So guys, so in the U.S. cruise passenger, there were fines of $47,000 because this, I don't know if you guys know, but NASA, in the port of Nassau, there was a huge brawl that has caused injuries, and it was about $47,000 worth of fines and all sorts of things. So I'm going to read a little bit about this situation. Actually, you know what? This is what we're going to do. We're actually going to see it together. Hold on. Let me grab it here. Let me screen share this with you guys because this is just insane, like insane. Okay, so I'm going to share this with you guys. So now you're watching it here with me live. So 6 U.S. cruise passengers fined $47K after Nassau cruise port brawl, injuries from the Bahama officers. That's a lot of money. So 5 American tourists were arrested after a fight that began at Nassau cruise port, later continued to the police station and leaving 4 officers injuries. Bahamian police said that the group consisted of 3 women and 2 men were taken into custody after officers responded to the fight. So this is the fight here. Let's see if we can watch it.
This shattered door is what remains of a chaotic scene that occurred here Monday evening. According to police, an altercation which started at the Nassau cruise port allegedly escalated into a violent struggle, leaving 4 police officers injured and 5 American nationals in police custody. This video, now making its rounds on social media, appears to show part of that confrontation, including a man climbing out of a damaged door as officers move in to restrain him. Police say it all began shortly after 4:45 Monday afternoon, when tourism police officers were called to the Nassau cruise port after reports of a fight involving cruise ship passengers. Officers responded and took 3 women and 2 men, all U.S. nationals, into custody. Police say the
But yeah, guys, so this is what's happening right now over there in NASA. And it is just crazy to know that all of these people, it was a group collectively, they fined 47,350 and required to compensate the injuries officer a total of 5,375, which is nothing if you think about it. So you have, these are the people that their ages and what was fined, for each individual person. And the group was given the choice of paying the fine or facing jail time up to a year. For some of the defendants, tourists paying fines to avoid the jail time in the common practice of the Bahamian. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. These people are lucky that they just gave them a fine and they were able to come back home, because they could have thrown them in jail and that would have been the end of you. It would have been the end of you. That would have been it. So please don't go, especially to the Bahamas or someplace outside of your country, to have these types of issues, because you don't know their laws and you don't know if they're going to throw you in jail and you don't know what they're going to do to you over there. So keep in mind that these people were able to come back home because they paid like $16,000, however much per person. But at the same time, that's a lot of money. Thinking of you going on a vacation, you're already paying a lot for the cruise. And on top of that, you decided to have an altercation. And now you would find another $16,000 that you have to come up with. If not, you're going to stay there in jail for probably a year or more than that. For what? At the end of the day, was it worth it? Probably not. Probably not. Maybe it wasn't even your altercation and you just got involved with it, because people are like that. Some people, it's not even their fight, their issue, but they get involved one way or another. I don't know why, but things like that happen. So that was one of them. And this is the other one that recently happened. And this was just in Miami, guys. This is crazy. And somebody's calling me. I don't know who's calling me. This is just insane. Let me show you this one. Hold on. This is the one that just happened over in Miami. There was 16 banned from a Carnival cruise after a massive brawl breaks out of the port of Miami. I'm going to show you this video here a little bit. I'm not going to put in the sound so you guys can see the video. Hold on. There we go. Give it a little bit and it should pop up. So this is the news person providing the information here for the brawl situation. Here it is.
This is video from Only in Date. According to a spokesperson for Carnival Cruise Line, a total of 16 people have been placed on their do not sell list.
There you have it, the do not sell it. Look at this. This is crazy. See how people come from all over the place that maybe had nothing to do with the situation, trying to hit somebody and getting into problems. So the brawl broke on Monday between two families in the port of Miami, according to the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Department. A spokesman from Carnival Cruise Line said that the incident happened while the families were passing through Customs and Border Patrol. Videos posted Only Dade shows several people pushing, kicking, and throwing punches at each other. As a result, Carnival places 16 people on the do not sell list, and spokesman said the sheriff said that neither of the families wanted to press charges against each other, but you're not selling anymore. So keep that in mind, guys, as we, just because they're not going to press charges against each other does not mean you're done with Carnival. And if Carnival was your party ship, guess what? You ain't partying in Carnival anymore. And I'm not even sure if MSC is going to want you over there now, because even though a lot of people are going to MSC because MSC has those 3 and 4 days cruises as well, you don't know if MSC is going to want you there. So eventually, and maybe I could be wrong, but I could see this happening eventually across the board with all the cruise lines. If you get banned from one, you're probably going to get banned from everybody else, because at the end of the day, nobody wants to be disrupted in your cruise vacation. To be honest with you, like, you don't want your cruise vacation to be disrupted either. Think about it. You get up the day of debarkation. You get up like 6, 7 in the morning to debark. Some people might be traveling to, let's say, New York by car, or maybe North Carolina or Georgia. So think about it. Now your time that you thought that you were going to get from ship to your car, all of a sudden stopped because there was a huge brawl at the port. And now you can't leave that area until the dust gets settled away. so that you can then continue to leave the port and get in your car and then continue to go home. So these are the little things that can get disrupted when I say that, just because you're making a wrong decision on your end, you're also got to think about everybody else. But obviously during that time, nobody actually thinks about, oh, I'm messing everybody else's situation at that point in time. But that's really what's happening. Like I said, some people like to video these kinds of things to become viral out there. And a lot of these videos have come out viral. But at the same time, maybe they're having a good time. Maybe they're looking at it as a ha-ha moment. But it's really not a ha-ha moment if somebody gets injured. And now you're facing, all these different situations unnecessarily. If you get banned from the Carnival Corporation, is huge. Lots of brands under them. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Donnell. And that's what I'm saying. Like, people are really not thinking. I don't know if it's because I know that sometimes it's not just the alcohol. Sometimes it's just situations that happen. But at the same time, like I have repeated myself a couple of times on this live stream, you're paying a bit of money to going on this cruise. Whether you pay $300 to go on a Carnival, or you pay $1,900 to go on a Royal, or $900 to go on an MSC, or whatever it is that you're paying, guys, you work hard for your money. And for you to end up in a situation where you pay for your cruise, you messed up your whole family's vacation. Now you probably went to jail, got fined, got banned, was it worth it? At the end of the day, when you go back home and you sit down and the dust has settled, was it worth it? And that's one of the things that, when Jay was talking about it today, because this has been happening for a while, I said, I need to do a show on this, because this is just happening like a lot lately. It's getting even more than it used to be before. Before, you can hear a little brawl here and there. And a lot of people were saying, oh, look, Carnival had another brawl. But then it happened on Icon of the Seas. It has happened on other ships, and it has happened on MSC. So the Royal has cruise for $1,900. Yeah, for $1,900, like, it's just crazy. And you know what was weird? I was in the Bahamas a couple of days before that brawl hit, because we were there, and maybe 2 days after I had left Nassau, that brawl had hit. It was just crazy. And I was telling my daughter that went with me on Star of the Sea, I was telling her, could you imagine we would have been in Nassau a day like today and the brawl would have hit? Because we probably, I don't know, because we went to the Royal Beach Club, so we have to walk through where the brawl was in order to get to the little boats that take you to the Royal Beach Club and back to the ship. So, think about it. It's not all about you guys. It's about everybody else that's traveling. And especially in Nassau, that area can hold about 6 or 8 ships at least at this point in time. And in Nassau, when you dock, it's not just 1 or 2 ships. That place is packed with ships. So think about it. If each ship is traveling with maybe anywhere between 3,000 and 6,000 people times 6 or 8 ships, think about the amounts of people. You're talking about 20, 30, 40,000 people passing through that port back and forth. And here you are brawling, and now you have $16,000 worth of fine because you got to pay them. The question is, how do they pay them? How do they manage? Maybe they have to contact the family. Maybe all the family have to get all the money, because I don't know if most of these people have that, $16,000 on their bank account to dish out to the Bahamian people so they can just get back on the ship and get back home, or they have to stay there and then fly themselves back home, which is another cost. And if you're traveling without a passport, guess what? Now you're hit with another $250 on top of that just to get you a regular passport to get you back home, because your birth certificate won't suffice in Bahamas. I did like the Royal Beach Club. I loved the Royal Beach Club. I had such a great time. And you know what? I'm glad that you mentioned the Royal Beach Club, because, guys, not so long ago, another brawl. Guess where? The Royal Beach Club is all over TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. It's just been everywhere. And when I was watching the brawl, I remember when we were there, because we were on the other side of the pool area watching the Flamingo ladies do their dance, because they come out and they dance. And all of this happened in front of the performance that these people were providing for the people that are going to the Royal Beach Club. So let that sink in. Here you are paying $140 to just get into the Royal Beach Club. And it's not just your ticket, because you got to, if you bring your kids, so it depends if you're a party of 4. So that's party of 4. Let's say you're paying about $550 for your party of 4 just to get into the Royal Beach Club, and then you're at the pool and you're having a good vibe. The music is good and you're chilling and having a good vibe. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, people decide to brawl in front of you. People all over the water and all of that. I don't know if I could find the video. Let me see if I can find, hold on. Because if I could find it, I'm going to show it to you. It was crazy. It was just insane. Hold on. Let me see if there's anybody here. I don't think I think whoever has it, it's either in the vlogs. People have them in the vlogs, but they don't have them in, I could probably play this one. Hold on. I'm going to have to probably play it and hold on, guys. Let me share with you guys. I'm going to play it, but I'm going to mute it because I don't want to get all right, hold on. Here is the crazy brawl at the Royal Beach Club. Look at that. Insane. Insane. Everybody's in the pool. People are having a good time. Look at this. People are like, they're like, what is going on? So this is what I'm talking about when you're disrupting somebody else's vacation, guys. Because that's exactly what you're doing, is you're disrupting somebody else's vacation. They paid to get into the Royal Beach Club, especially if you paid for the Ultimate Cabana. That's I think one of them is like $5,000, the other one is like $10,000 for the day to be there, and this is what you got to deal with. Yeah, come on, guys, like that's not nice. Like that is not nice. And when I was looking at that video, I am like, oh my God, like these people are just chilling, and I know because I've been there. The music is pumping. The girls, the flamingos are coming out. They're doing this really cool dance. It was really nice to see. You guys are going to see it because those are coming. Those vlogs are coming. You're going to see it on the vlog. And all of a sudden you have a whole altercation, not caring that you got these people that are working there that are actually performing for everybody that's there. And here you are having a whole full-blown brawl in the middle of their stage where they do their dance. No care whatsoever. What was the brawl about? Who knows what it was? But at the end of the day, more than likely, those people got banned, and they're probably not going to come back to Royal and the Royal Beach Club. So, and the problem is that even if they were to fly to Nassau, they can't even get back on the Royal Beach Club because that only belongs to Royal Caribbean. So, yeah, you could say bye to Royal Caribbean and the Royal Beach Club. It was just crazy, guys, to even see something like that. So yeah, you got to come to your senses at one point in your life where, you don't want to mess it with somebody else's, money and their vacation. And, this also goes for the etiquette to the elevator etiquette, because one of those situations is also on the elevator. Guys, if you see somebody with mobility issues or something like that, and you see that they've been sitting there waiting on an elevator, guys, let them go. Let them get on the elevator. Let them go wherever they want to go. It's not just about you. You know how many people I have actually seen when they're just waiting there patiently for the elevator to come, and people just come in right in front of them, just jammed in front of them, don't care whatsoever that person with mobility issues is sitting there waiting for that elevator way before you decided to show up. Guys, keep in mind that it's not just about your cruise, but it's also their cruise, because they also paid. Whether you like it or not, they have the right to have a good time, and they have the right to get into that elevator. And sometimes people just go from one floor to another. Like I personally have to take an elevator because my knees have been hurting lately. So, but before I used to just go if it was 1 or 2 floors, I would just go up and down with no problems. But I've seen it all the time. Or if the elevator is opening, instead of waiting for the people to get out of the elevator so that you can then walk in, No, they don't even let the people out the elevator get out. They're just running in front of them. And it's like, what is happening nowadays? Like, it is just blows my mind, the things that I'm seeing lately on these cruise ships. Like, this was not like that before. And besides, the situation with the brawls, this is another situation because that also causes altercations, whether you were on an elevator because people are trying to get in or out. And then the funny part is, like, when the people finally get out, whoever was in there in the elevator, you could hear them say, oh my God, like, there's no, like, it, and then people start talking, and guess what? That's how people get into altercations, because now you got the people that came into the elevator and you're telling them that was rude of you to be doing that. And that's where things happen. So guys, make sure that, you establish yourself when you're going on these cruises. Keep in mind that it's not just about you on that cruise, even though that you pay your money, but other people also pay their money to go on these cruises. And guys, please, I am a mother of 5 and I love my kids. I always keep an eye on my kids. Keep an eye on your children. Keep an eye on your children, because these kids can do all sorts of different things when you're not even around town. Guys, I had a situation, I even talked about it, I think on my last live stream. I was vlogging and I was going through Playmakers. And this little girl, I think she was anywhere, maybe I'm going to say 14, 15, 13, something around that. And I'm walking, and as I'm talking to the camera, I'm minding my own business. I'm not even, talking to anybody. I was walking with my daughter, and this little girl sees that because she did it on purpose. And she just threw the scream of, I even got disrupted because I thought something had happened to her. And some other guy, you hear him, how rude can you be? Why you got to scream like that? Because Playmakers, guys, is a restaurant. It is a sit-down restaurant. Mind you, I said it on the live stream last week, and I'm going to say it again. Royal Caribbean, if you ever hear this live stream, you guys got to do something with that Playmaker. You got to get that Playmakers out of there on Star, Legend, Heroes, and on Icon. It does not belong on Deck 6, where the kids club is on the other side, because these kids have to go through the Playmakers. They have to walk through the Playmakers in order to get to their adventure thing that they do. And it's from 13 to 17-year-olds. And then next to them is where they do the ice skating rink. So yeah, you have all these kids between the ages of 13 to 17. There's some of them, and I'm not going to say all of them, but some of them cannot handle themselves properly on a cruise, and they are disruptive to the people that are sitting there trying to have a meal, which they're paying for. So this goes out to all your mothers and daddies out there. I'm not saying that your child is horrible or anything like that. Like I said, I'm a mother of 5, but keep an eye on your children. When they're not around you, you don't even know what they can do. Like, you've seen it in the news. A lot of time, the kid that said that he was going to jump ship and somebody else said it, and they banned the kid. They took him off, mother and everybody out the cruise, because these kids now and then, they don't know what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, when these things happen, you gotta, as a mother and father, that's your responsibility as your child. And you don't want to have a phone call from Royal Caribbean paging you on the thing to come to guest services, and next thing you know, here you go, you either hit with a fine, or your child did something, or something is going on, and now you're banned. So just make sure that when you're traveling with little ones, either keep an eye on themselves, and I'm not saying not let them do their thing, because they can do their thing, but make sure you speak to your child before you put them on a cruise, and let them know to go accordingly and not to be disrupted. Because these kids, and I don't know how many of you guys are watching this, they are running everywhere. When I say everywhere, it is like, I don't know what the parents think. Just because it's a cruise, guys, you don't know everybody on that ship. You don't know the intentions of people nowadays. Like, I travel with my 17-year-old, and I keep tabs on her all the time. And my daughter's 17. But I keep tabs because you never know people out there and, who you're traveling with. You see it all the time. You see it all the time. And just because you're on a cruise ship don't mean that, it's all safe in there. You got to keep an eye on all of your kids and make sure that, you know exactly where they are at all time, that they're behaving, that they're not being disrupted, because at the end of the day, it's somebody else's vacation as well, especially when they're running all over the place, when they're screaming, yelling, hollering. And I understand they're kids and they're having a good time. It's their vacation too. But at the same time, keep it down to a level where everybody's going to be happy, especially and I think something is going on. I don't know if it's something that's going to be passing across the board, but I have a feeling, because I've heard a couple of things, that they're going to be stricter when it comes to the jacuzzi tubs and children being on them. So keep an eye on that, because I think some changes are coming where they're not going to allow your children to be on a jacuzzi tub because of a situation that happened on another ship with an adult and a child. So they're looking into different things like that, because the kids just take over like all of these places. And it's okay, because I love children and I know they're having a great time, and it's their vacation too. But moms and dads, guys, keep an eye on your child. Look at them, maybe, let them loose and keep an eye, see what they do, and then, fix the situation accordingly, because you don't want to have a situation when you're on board and guest services is trying to locate you because your kid did something, or either did something or says something that is going to get them in trouble, and it's probably going to get you banned. So just because he's a little kid don't mean that you can get banned. It's like those kids that were standing on the balcony trying to move from one balcony to the other. Guess what happened? The whole entire family got banned and they got taken off of the cruise ship on the next port. And guess what happens when you're taken off of the cruise ship at the next port? Now, as parents, you got to fly back home, and you got to pay for that expense of flying all of your family back home into the United States. And your cruise is completely done, and there's nothing you can do, because your child, while you were having a good time, wherever you were, your child decided to go on your balcony and wanted to move from one balcony to the other while the ship was at sea. Think about that. So there's a lot of things that, you see it on the news, you see it for a reason. People are putting it out there so that you can have a little bit of mind that, things like this could happen. And if you feel that, you're going to have a problem like that with your child, then get an interior room, or maybe one with an ocean view where they can't go out anywhere. Sometimes you got to be proactive with these kids. So keep in mind all of these little things, guys, whether we think about it or not, or maybe you say, oh, this is not going to happen to me. You don't know until you're in that position. And a lot of these parents, they didn't know until they were on that position when they got called into guest services, and now they were banned. And, what do? You can't fight with Royal Caribbean, Carnival, MSC, Princess, Celebrity. You can fight with any of them, because guess what? At the last minute, that is their call. And they want to make sure that you are safe. That's their main thing, that they take you and bring you back safe, back to land. So keep in mind, about all of these things, because guys, this is very important. You guys, I sell travel for a living. And when I sell travel, there's a lot of kids that go on these cruises and a lot of families. And I hear, my customers, oh my God, I had a great time. My children and that's what you want to hear. You don't want to hear, well, I had into an altercation, or this happened, or that happened, or whatever, or, and things like that. You don't want that to happen. You want to make sure that your families are going over there, having an amazing time and coming back safe and being happy and getting ready for their next cruise adventure or whatever travels that they want to do. But like I said, keep an eye on your kids, because sometimes your kids can get you into problems, whether you believe it or not. They can get you into problems, because at the last minute, those are your children. Especially if you have a child that is not yours, that is traveling with you, and you are that person's responsibility. It's going to come on you. It's not going to come on their parents, because their parents were not on board. It was you that brought them, and it was your responsibility, because you're signing that letter, that minor child consent form letter, that you're saying, whatever happens, I'm going to be responsible for that kid. So keep that in mind when you are traveling with minors that are not your child. Because you know what, guys? As a travel advisor, I actually sell a lot of travel to people like friends, or boyfriends of the little kids or whatever that are coming along. These are not your kids. You don't know what they can or cannot do. And I'm not saying that all of them are bad, but you got to keep in mind that when you're signing that consent form and your name is there and it's notarized, if something happens, you are responsible for that other child that is not yours. So keep that in mind, because those things, are constantly happening. So that's one of the things that I wanted to talk to you today, because it's just been all over the news. And I'm like, we have to talk about this, because this is just crazy, guys. It is just crazy to know that today's day, with everything that has been going on, it just continues to happen more and more and more and more. Why is it happening? We don't know. We don't know what happened in the port of Nassau. We don't know what happened in the port of Miami with all these people, 20-something people being banned now for brawling in the port of Miami. But at the end of the day, guys, you're paying a lot of money, travel accordingly. Make sure that, if somebody comes at you, just let it be. Talk to a security, whatever. Don't get involved, because sometimes, you just want to say your piece and then it gets worse. You don't know if you're talking to a person that is intoxicated to the levels, and then he's going to come at you and then a brawl is going to happen. So just keep that in mind, just for your enjoyment of your cruise. Keep that in mind. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk. So if you guys have any questions for me, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. Right now, I want to show you guys this little video here, because I have to show it to you guys every single time. So let's check this video out.
Good afternoon, everybody. We've got an exciting group cruise announcement for you. This time around, it's going to be a very special occasion, as we have managed to get an invite to the inaugural sailing of the one and only MSC World Atlantic. This time around, we'll be sailing out from Port Canaveral in Orlando, Florida on November 13th, 2027. From there, the ship will be docking at Nassau in the Bahamas on the 14th and MSC's private Ocean Cay Marine Reserve on the 15th. After that, there'll be a relaxing day at sea where you can be one of the first people to explore this lovely new ship. On the 17th, they'll be docking in Cozumel, Mexico, followed by Costa Maya in Mexico on the 18th. From there, a single day at sea will be taking you back to Orlando to conclude the inaugural sailing. Be sure to book your cabins quick, as inaugurals like this tend to sell out really fast. You can contact us at jagonzalez@expediacruises.com or call us directly at 813-608-2935. We hope to see you on board with us.
Well, there you guys have it. Hopefully I get to see you guys on board with us for our travel adventures in the MSC World Atlantic next year. Is the inaugural sailing. So it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. It's just going to be a lot of fun and adventures. I can't wait to see everybody there. I still have some cabins still left. I might be taking a couple more cabins because I know that they're selling. So if you're looking for a cabin, if you're thinking about it, the deposit is only $199 per person. Give me a call. I could give you more information. And you have until August of next year to make the final payment. So you have plenty of time, to think. I know that a lot of people, they're thinking about it. And more than likely, they're probably going to try to get in last minute. But if you really want it for you and your family, give me a call. I'd be more than happy to hold the cabin for you guys for the $199 per person and get you in, and you guys get to travel with Travel Adventures. I know Jeffy from Escapades with Jeffy is going to be coming with me on that trip. So you guys get to meet Jeffy as well. Guys, I got to show you this. I know we have like 15 minutes left, but not show you. I got to tell you this story. So here in my house, in our back lanai, and this has nothing to do with what we talked about. This is something more like funny that's happening here. In the back of our lanai, my husband has this, this gourd kind of thing that is kind of like a bird, I guess a bird house. And it's inside of our lanai. So it's been there for, I don't know how long. He's put it there. He's just sitting there. So a little bird decided, I don't know how he found the said house inside of our lanai, that they built a nest. And now they actually have 4 little babies in there. And I just, from where I work, like from where I'm working, in front of me, there's 2 windows side to side. And I could see them just coming in and out, feeding like constantly. He's just feeding constantly. So my daughter Geraldine, yesterday, she actually recorded, hold on, let me show you. She actually recorded them yesterday. So let me show you this real quick. Hold on. Here they are. Here are the little, oh wait, hold on. Here they are. There's like, oh, wait, there they are. Ain't they cute? They're just waiting there to be fed. And there's 4 of them. And I'm like, it's amazing, guys, how life is. It's just, I guess to me, it's really cool to see the creation that God has created, because they come and they go and they feed their little babies, constantly back and forth. And you see them working hard and bringing all this food for the little babies. And it makes you, think sometimes, like sometimes I sit here when I have a little bit of time and I just stare at them, doing their job back and forth. And it's like how wonderful it is, as bird parents, that, what God has created for them to feed their babies and come back. And it's like a constant work during the day. And in the evenings, it's more like settled. They kind of settle in the evening, and you don't see the constant going back and forth like it is during the day that they're working. And it just amazes me how creation of life is. And I've been enjoying that. So I wanted to, kind of give you that information, because I'm like watching them as I'm doing the live stream. They're just going back and forth. And it just amazes me how beautiful, life is. Like, I remember watching the little birds, build the nest and bring in the little twigs and stuff like that. And next thing you know, the mommy bird never came back out again. And now we have like 4 babies in there. So I don't know. I'm questioning myself, because I'm like, okay, so when eventually these little babies starts to fly, they're inside of our lanai. So I don't know. I guess maybe the mommy bird would, teach them how to get out of the lanai. Like they've been coming in and out. So that's going to be interesting to kind of like watch. I'm going to keep it. I was actually thinking of putting one of my cameras, like a GoPro, because it has the night vision part, and just leaving it there, like to record like all of it, to see how they do all of that. So I think it'll be kind of cool. I don't know who would like to see it, but me, I like weird things like that to kind of like enjoy watching life in a different perspective. So, but yeah, guys, that was what I wanted to talk to you guys about. So yeah, I bought the Osmo Pocket 4. I don't know how many content creators are watching this live, or maybe possibly going to watch it down the road. I love it. It has a lot of great features that the Pocket 3 didn't have. So I'm actually looking forward to, I actually took it to Disney this past week, because I don't know how many of you guys know that the Carousel of Progress is going to be closing down here in July 5th. And I wanted it to go and film the Carousel of Progress that is today, and then go back and film the new Carousel of Progress, so that I can have them both and bring that to you guys down the road. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the new one is going to be, and be able to bring that out to you guys. So I actually took it, and it worked really cool. It has zoom, like it could zoom further than the Pocket 3. So it has a lot of cool features. So I'm really looking forward to having this one of my top cameras right now. And then once I get my Pocket 3 back and it's fixed, then I'm going to use that as a secondary camera for our travel adventures vlogs and things like that. So yeah, but if you're interested in something like that, I really like them. They don't sell them here in the United States. I got mine through Amazon. I got it as it was the Osmo Pocket 3 Creators Combo. Hey, Miss Katie, welcome in, mommy. How are you? So I got it as my Pocket 4 Creators Combo, and I got it in Amazon. And you could find them there. Just keep in mind, when I was talking to DJI about my Pocket 3, because they're not selling here in the United States because of a ban that they have with them right now in the United States, I cannot insure the Pocket 4 through DJI. but I'm able to insure it through Amazon. So if something were to happen, then Amazon will back it up. He did say that once their ban here in the United States goes away, because they're trying to get that fixed, then they are open to then having insurance for the Pocket 4s. So if you're interested in something like that, a Pocket 4, then you can find them in Amazon. And that's where I got mine, because I was waiting for them to drop in the DJI, but it never happened. So I was still going to get a new one no matter what. It just happened to happen as quickly as last week, because mine just, for some weird reason, my DJI Pocket 3 got overheated like really bad, and the whole screen just went black, and it will turn on, but you couldn't see anything whatsoever. So that's the reason why I had to send it. And it was a little bit worrying. I'm not going to tell you, because I was filming a brand deal in Cozumel, Mexico. I got invited there to film a brand deal with Kusa, and all the Kusa stuff was in the camera. And when I was reading, as it was happening, I was reading, and they said you have to take the SD card out, and it was already all hot and everything. And I'm like, oh my God, am I going to lose all the footage? But thankfully the footage we were able to get all the footage out, and and today I actually sent all my brand deal stuff to Kusa. So as soon as I get it approved, you guys are going to see that vlog. It was nice. I had a really good time. So thank you, Kusa Beach and Adventure Park, for inviting us over there. We had a really good time. I don't know if you guys have been to Cozumel. If you have not been and you want to try it, they have different packages, guys, on there. So if you want to try it, I suggest you go on their website. You can purchase different packages, 34 days. Well, hello. First of all, welcome, Silver Honda 0767. Thank you for coming here to the Travel Adventures. 34 days and counting until Jewel of the Seas, going to Nassau, Bahama, Royal Caribbean Beach, private island, and looking forward to snorkeling at Coco Cay. Look at that. You're going to have an amazing time. For sure. You are going to have an amazing time in snorkeling in Coco Cay. But yeah, we went to Kusa Beach. And I had a great time. They have zip lining, jet skiing, ATVs. Just keep in mind that when you're purchasing their packages, make sure that you purchase the right one for you. It comes included with food and all the drinks included. So it was really nice. And hopefully I sent everything out today. So hopefully I should get it back. And then I'm going to post it so you guys can see Kusa. But it's really nice. I think for me, it was better than Mr. Sancho's. I have not been to Paradise Beach, so I'm hoping that the people that have been to Paradise Beach can compare, the Kusa adventure that I put out there. So I'm looking forward to seeing those that have been to Paradise Beach, to see if maybe they find maybe it's better, or somebody that has gone to both, they can say, I went here and I went there. I like this one better than the other. So yeah, that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to checking out, with the crowd. I did put some shorts out there. I haven't put all of the shorts, but I put some of them, and those are doing very well in the short space. For those of you guys that are watching my vlogs, if you guys can help me with the vlogs by giving them a like, a comment, and you can hype my vlogs, that'll help us and let YouTube know that you guys are liking what you're seeing. We work very hard here in Travel Adventures to make sure we get all these vlogs out and get you as much information and the traveling and all of that stuff out there. Hello. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. Netherlands are not are your problem. Well, thank you for your comment and welcome in to our show here. But yeah, so one of those cool things to do is, like, when you go to Cozumel, some people go to Sancho, some people go to Paradise Beach, and now you have a new adventure park, which is called Kusa Beach. And they have an adult only area. They have a family with kids area. They have all the different bars. They have lockers, restrooms that are very nice and clean. It's very nice. It's a wonderful time. People were very nice and very friendly there. So if you are maybe possibly going to Cozumel, maybe you want to give it a try. If not, then you can maybe go to Paradise Beach, or maybe do Cozumel on your own. We did Cozumel on our own. You can check out that vlog. And we rented a little car and we went all around Cozumel. We had a great time for like $80 for 4 people. So it was $20 per person to rent the little car. And we just had an amazing time over there. So yeah, so hopefully whenever you go to Cozumel, maybe you can try that. Maybe you can try that new adventure and see if something you enjoy with your family. Because, Cozumel is always trying to do new things. No different than Costa Maya. They're trying to revamp all these new things in Costa Maya. So when the families are coming in, they have new adventures to take a look and things like that. There's some things that are free. If you've never been to like Costa Maya, there are some things that are free in Costa Maya. You can just get off the port. There's an area where they have a really nice pool. And they actually did a new side on Costa Maya where they actually have more lounge chairs. It's more like a beach vibe. It has like sand and it has a really nice pool area, music and stuff like that. What you just really pay is whatever you consume, and whatever you eat is what you pay in that area. But if you don't want to do like a shore excursion or anything, you can get off the port and just, walk around and enjoy and then come back. Because the port there in Costa Maya, no different than the one in Cozumel. They are long ports. So you can go for a little stroll back and forth and you'll be great. But yeah, so if you're thinking of doing like a Western Caribbean, that's one of them. Guys, don't forget that Legends of the Sea is coming in new in November of this year. November 11 is the inaugural sailing. I'm going to be on that sailing. And then next year, Heroes of the Seas, World Atlantic is coming out. So there's a lot of brand new ships coming out. If you're not aware and you need some more information, let me know. I'd be more than happy to send you more info on whatever it is that you need. I'm here for you guys, whether it's a question or you just want to chit chat for a little bit. I'm always here for you. Tomorrow, we are coming to we're going to have our Cross the Wave show. We're going to be going to the port of Mumbai tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to talk about all sorts of things Mumbai. It'll be just Jeffy and I for now, because I believe Keith has to work and he won't be able to join us on Across the Wave for a couple of weeks. So we will be missing Keith on our show, on our Across the Wave for a few weeks, because he has to do what he got to do. So it's not that he's not coming back or anything like that. He's just has some work that he's working a different shift. So he's not going to be able to participate in our shows for a couple of more weeks. So yeah, the Port of Mumbai tomorrow, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy this live stream. I enjoy bringing this out to you guys. Like always, if there's a topic that you guys want me to talk about, just send me a message and I'll be more than happy to bring it to the table here. Or if you want to participate and be part of Travel Adventures and you want to come on the show, let me know. I'll be more than happy to bring you here and we can have a whole conversation. In the meantime, guys, I love you guys all to the moon and back. Please, may God take care of you guys all. And I will see you tomorrow on Across the Wave at 8 p.m. For now, toodaloos. I will see you then. Love you all to the moon and back. Bye-bye. Ta-ta for now.